This is Claire.
And this is Laura.
And welcome to What is Up, Dog?
Dog?
Welcome to episode 2.
Yeah, this is our second episode. It's kind of a big deal
It's a
for the
big deal.
doggers.
For the that's what you guys are actually called because you listen to our podcast where we're trying to answer what is up, dog. After all these weeks, I still haven't found an answer.
I also haven't found an answer, and we've taken a brief hiatus from the podcast, hoping to find some clarity. But
I mean, we figured out the mics a little better. Hopefully, hopefully this sounds better.
I think we can hear Claire now from the mic
honestly,
that is in front of her.
I'm going to turn our levels down a little so that you don't get as much of our mouth clicks.
Yeah,
I think that'll help.
That would probably be good.
We'll do like that.
And then at our 15-minute mandatory break, we'll see if it sounds good.
Yeah, now we know about the 15-minute mandatory breaks. My eyes are on the time, on the prize.
We're not going to forget. We totally won't. It's going to be awesome.
But since we have no new theories on what is up, dog, I tried to do some research.
Oh.
Couldn't find any serious articles.
Did you go on Google Scholar?
Oh, I should have tried that. I tried the
Google
UW-Madison
Scholar.
Library System.
Oh, no, you got to try Google Scholar.
I'll check Google Scholar next time. But no reports as of yet. I still think it might be out there.
It's a major research hole. Like, people need to get on this.
No, I mean, like, UpDog is out there.
It's somewhere out there.
It's somewhere out there.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Update. I guess we'll update you guys on my life. Developments in the mayflies. I figured out that the reason that they were dying on my bed is because they were coming through the air vent.
Oh,
and so I tried to close the air vent myself, and I was too short and small and weak. And so,
okay, you're just a little princess.
So eventually my boyfriend came over, and I went, can you please close my air vent? And he was tall enough to be able to see the mechanism to close it and actually properly close it instead of just like kind of jingling it around.
So shout out Owen.
Yeah, shout out Owen.
Thank you.
Now I don't have dead mayflies on my bed with big
That's
plus.
awesome.
Big plus. Just
I'm so
by
happy
the door
for
now.
you.
Negative is that now air conditioning can't come through that vent.
Oh,
it's only coming through the vent on the door. So it's getting a little toasty.
It's okay. It's summer.
Luckily, I have my fan.
And you have your rooftop pool where we just were.
Rooftop pool. Oh, yeah. Rooftop pool.
Classic plug.
Classic for
people to come live in Claire's apartment and enjoy the
unless
pool.
they start paying me, I'm not gonna advertise them again. That was a mistake last time.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you need to get paid for that.
But you have a job now.
Yeah, doggers. I do have a job.
And it seems pretty exciting. You want to tell us about it?
You know, there's just something new every day. It's quite the adventure. I think I've told Claire a couple of interesting stories. I'm not sure what I'm legally allowed to talk about on this podcast for fear of...
Can you remind the viewers where and who you're working with?
So I'm a legislative intern at the Wisconsin State Capitol here in Madison. And... I would love a sound effect. I can't hear them now. Can you hear them?
No.
Oh, well, I guess then it'll just be a mystery in post. We'll look at that in post.
Yeah. Now you're in the situation that I was in where you don't know what they sound like.
I liked hearing the sound effects, but I think they'll also be equally funny later. So, but yeah, I'm working for Representative Sheila Stubbs in the 78th Assembly District, and it's been a vibe.
Do you feel legally allowed to tell me my favorite story?
Oh, I think we can talk about this because I think this did happen in a public building.
That's so true.
It did allegedly. I was not there, but my boss on one of my first days there said, "Well, we had to do like bomb threat training because, you know, that happens." And so we were going through our training, and she said, "Oh, yeah, the other day." We had a non-credible bomb threat. And I was like, what? We were all like, what does that even mean? Like, how is it non-credible? And apparently some person was getting arrested outside of our, right outside of our office window because they taped Nerf darts to themselves and told everyone it was an explosive and to watch out. So that explains the non-credible.
We got to ask them what is up, dog.
Yeah.
That person has wisdom.
Oh, my gosh. They have so much more wisdom than I'll ever have. I'm pretty sure.
That's like, icon.
I know.
That's
Like, where'd they
icon
get all those
energy.
Nerf darts? Because usually you only get like 10.
Well, my family has a lot of Nerf darts.
Wait, so it was you?
Yeah, we got it. No,
What did I tell you about non-credible bomb
bold.
threats?
Oh, sorry, I did it again.
Gosh.
No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, we can't actually say
I
like
would
incriminating
never
things
make
on our podcast.
a non-credible bomb threat.
No, Claire would never do that. She's actually a safe person and should be allowed to have many jobs in her future.
Yes. I started the oral history job, but I
Yes.
haven't had the main meeting with my boss yet, and I ended up working too much after the preliminary, the first meeting with a bunch of people because I did all 6 hours, even though I started the job on Thursday. So I didn't have much work to do this week. And I worked for like 2 hours, and then I emailed my boss and like, I'm out of things to do. And he would, can I just either give me stuff or can I just work only 2 hours this week? And he's like, I'm good with both. You can work the 2 hours. And then he like gave me some more stuff to do, but like, no way I'm doing the thing he gave me for 3 hours, just looking through this one spreadsheet and clicking on the link. No.
Spreadsheets.
No.
They don't turn out well.
So I haven't gotten to the good parts yet of the job. But
the good parts. Well, hopefully the
Obviously.
spreadsheet will lead to something good, unlike what happened to me today. Do you want to? This is the story of how I messed up today. Okay. I was actually telling Claire, I was like, this is a perfect segue because you mentioned spreadsheet. Feel free to add on more to that story if there's anything else.
Another job just hasn't kicked up yet.
Yeah.
It's not a very interesting topic.
I want to hear more. I can't wait for Claire's job to get super epic and interesting. We're gonna talk about it a lot in the pod, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
But spreadsheets. I was supposed to, me and this other intern, and it was neither of our faults really, but I feel really bad about it as a person that likes to not waste a lot of paper. You can probably see where this is going. We were supposed to print like 100 envelopes of like people's addresses with like new businesses to like send out these letters, and at one point we had to refill the envelopes into the printer, and we were like doing this whole spreadsheet of all this stuff, and so we had to individually type every single name, address, so it took forever. You couldn't just copy paste. And we spent like 2 hours on like printing these envelopes. Midway through, we'd printed like 10 and then it ran out of envelopes, but then we put in more, and we did a test of ones that were already going through the system, and they turned out great. So we're like, okay, we can print 50 more. I finished my last one, went over to go pick them up. They all printed like the person's address on top of our letterhead single. So like they all were useless. Like we wasted 50 envelopes, and we were like, seriously? So that was my major mistake. We recycled a lot in our office today. It was a lot.
I gave you some applause.
Oh, thank you. I was really proud of it.
That's awesome.
I actually feel really bad.
That's a lot of. Well, you could have kept the letter stock. You know, it just has sensitive information on it.
Yeah, it has people's addresses over our representative's name. I don't know how she would feel about that.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It's like there was one guy that had like, they had awesome business names like Squeak Ninja, and the boat boys with a Z or something. Like it was awesome.
Those sound like awesome local businesses.
Anyway, that's my story.
Awesome. That's really cool. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, Chazen has been relatively tame.
Yeah.
Which is great. Awesome.
No mysterious
also, when no one's
books.
touching things. No mysterious books. No. We'll take that for a different one because that's a long
Save
story.
that for the next pod?
But before we hit our 15-minute mark, we got 6 minutes here. I wanted to do a segment.
Ooh. Yes. What if they don't hear the sounds? That would actually be funnier.
I'm playing it right now. This segment's called What is Girl Dinner?
Oh, yes.
So we had girl dinner today.
Yes, we did.
You stopped by Trader Joe's on your way over.
Yes, I did.
And you picked us up.
Well, we got some strawberries.
And I was like, could you get us some chocolate-covered pretzels?
And I was like, yeah, because I'm at TJ's, my house.
And you brought even better. You got cookie and cream pretzels.
Yeah, I got us like some funky, fresh chocolate-covered pretzel delight meal. And we almost finished all the strawberries except for one.
Yeah. We had and that was going to be girl dinner, and then we got actual dinner.
And then we
'cause
went to
still,
Panera.
Yeah, again.
Now we have an entire loaf of sourdough that's bigger than my head.
Yeah, you wanted to have bread for your tomato soup.
I know. I got a little soup thing.
It's a very large piece of bread.
Yeah. I didn't know it was going to be that big. But, I mean, I can't complain.
Now you got bread.
Yeah, I do have bread.
But I thought we could talk about some of the girl dinners we've had.
Oh, yes. Over the years.
So I've had this one where, oh my God, I told you earlier that it was from freshman year. It was actually from sophomore year. So
Claire, this is recent.
So I have these like little plates, and I had gotten a can of beans.
Oh, Claire.
Baked beans. And so I had a plate of beans.
And
that was dinner. That was all I ate.
That.
It was just a plate of baked beans.
That's protein right
And
there.
for a second, I thought about putting toast with it. And I was like, I would never do that to my Irish ancestors. I would never have beans and toast.
You're so British for that.
British for that. But I was like, why do I have the instinct to put this on toast?
You secretly are British.
Well, I was worried I was turning British.
Then you had to get rid of all the toast in your
Then
house.
I could move to England, and that wouldn't be bad. But if I couldn't move to England, I don't think I could survive as a Brit in America.
Actually, Claire, there's one British guy on Love Island right now. Sorry if that's a spoiler. He came on in the second episode though, or even the first one. He was one of the new bombshells in the villa.
Ooh, Laura's been obsessed with Love Island. You've been eating it up.
No, because it's a roommate thing. We're watching Love Island, and we're getting everybody else that we know to watch it with us. And we're also I can't talk about the simulator because that's
spoilers.
No, that's a spoiler. You don't need to know what that is,
guys. We might be doing something crazy later.
Yeah, next pod is gonna be insane.
Oh yeah,
if
it happens after.
Yeah, pre-pod, post-pod, whatever.
Yeah, what is? Have you had any interesting girl dinners? What's your most embarrassing? Yes, this is a dinner.
I should have thought about this before the podcast because I know I've had some crazy ones.
I mean, we both had the Reese Pieces dinner where we
we did.
Each individually got a box of Reese Pieces and just ate that. Yeah.
Yep. It was good. I don't regret it at all.
It was pretty good.
It was awesome. Zero regrets. I don't know. I feel like I've had... Man, I've been eating too much like a normal person recently. I need to do better. I need to have more weird dinners.
Wait, I don't need to do that.
Oh, yeah. You don't even need... We have our sound effect resources.
Okay, I did a record scratch.
Thanks. I needed that.
So, yeah. I mean, I pitched this segment and I was like, oh, Laura must have girl dinners.
Oh, no,
but I think I'm just a monster.
After the break, I'll think of one for sure.
I think I might just be a monster.
No,
I was like, yes, a plate of beans for my dinner.
I've had something similar to that. I haven't done, you know what I've been wanting to do is the can of chickpeas for dinner. That just sounds so good.
You have a can of chickpeas, I have a can of beans.
Yeah.
That's dinner.
It's it's something a vegan person would do. They're just let me just eat these chickpeas. This is, I don't know why.
I mean, I feel like you don't have to be vegan.
No, it's just the vibe.
Yeah, it is the vibe though.
And I kind of love it. I think that's where my life is taking me back.
Shout out to vegans.
Yeah.
I could never.
Was my dinner vegan?
No.
What?
I don't think so.
Soup?
Maybe. I don't know what they have in the tomato soup.
Soup and bread. Well, sounds vegan.
And it's the question of if they use milk. I don't know. Probably. It was probably vegan.
Claire, I'm obsessed with almond milk. I'm really into almond milk now. I just wanted to tell you that.
That's crazy. Okay, I have 1 minute to tell the craziest story of my life.
Please do.
There was this guy, and he biked up to me, and he was like, "Can I ask you a question?" No, it was just some random guy on a bike, and he was like, "Can I ask you a question?" And I stupidly said yes, and he was like, "Is life overall good or bad?" And I was like, I don't know, good. And he was like, but do you ever blame yourself? Do you ever blame yourself? Do you ever feel like you're the victim? And he had a thing of oat milk in his hand, and then he just spit out oat milk from his mouth. As he was talking to me, he just...
It's like the It's a real guy on TV.
And it splattered on the concrete.
Ew.
And then I got up after he left, and I like just looked at the pile, and I wanted to
Claire,
scream.
is this real?
And then I
Did
saw,
this happen?
yes, and
oh
then,
my God.
like 10 minutes later, I saw another person throwing up outside of a restaurant.
Hello.
It was a really bad day. It was a really bad day. Never have your headphones off in Madison and be aware of your surroundings.
Oh no.
This is Claire.
And this is Laura.
Welcome back to
What Is Up, Dog.
What is up, dog?
Oh, that was great.
They calmed me down. Laura calmed me down a little after my breakdown.
Yeah, she's okay now.
I'm feeling better now. It was just really traumatizing.
Yeah.
I also feel like the energy for this this episode is different, and I think it's because we had food beforehand.
And
we went to
were
the
mermaids.
pool beforehand.
Yeah.
We didn't accidentally lose half an hour, so it's a lot less manic. And so I hope
that added a little
spice.
Yeah.
But you had some girl dinners.
I did. I used the time on the break wisely to think of some girl dinners that I've had. And I think the best one is probably when I had the cheesy bread from the farmer's market. I had a whole loaf of it. And that was like my
Stella's
sustenance for the whole day.
That's awesome.
But the worst part is this was the day that I decided to run crazy legs after the fact for fun. So like for breakfast, I had bread and then I like didn't really have lunch, and then I ran 5 miles with my friends, and then I had more bread, and I felt so great. Yeah.
I bet you felt really good.
Yeah, I was
with all
like, you
that
know
bread.
what? This is awesome. And honestly, I ran pretty fast.
And
then
platelets went off without a hitch, it sounds
yeah.
like.
My platelets, in case anyone is invested in the story, I did watch the entire Despicable Me 4 and had a heated blanket while both my arms were incapacitated, and it was awesome. And I got free bread.
Very
But my
nice.
other girl dinner was straight spinach. I just thought there's a real dichotomy there. It's either bread or like I do kind of I saw a post that was like, oh, when you're just like a dinosaur and you eat like the veggies, you just eat them like a dinosaur. And I was like, that's awesome. And now that's like all I do.
Like a whole head of lettuce.
Kind of, yeah. I just like take spinach. I'm like, ow.
Just imagine you taking
I know,
like a
it's
handful
so
out of
good
a
though.
bag.
I like the taste of like raw spinach. I know that's like a hot take.
Hot take.
But it's really good. And
it's
I
not
think I feel like
horrible.
a dinosaur when I do it. So
Do you have the thing where that one stuff tastes like soap? I don't.
cilantro?
Yeah.
No.
I don't
like
have it
cilantro.
either.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I
It's
like
a good
it.
garnish.
I like it.
Yeah.
Gotta get your taco, cilantro, onion. Oh God, what's the third one?
Sorry. I don't know why that was so. You're like cilantro,
Uh,
onion, the mysterious third one. What
don't
sound
know.
effect did you just
I
put?
did rim shot, but I should do.
I'll
I
find
think
out
it's
in
the wah
post.
wah wah. Because I can't remember the best way to have tacos.
That's okay. I think it's okay. I think, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
maybe
my girl
that's
dinner.
that's maybe all there is. But you
Yeah.
had another story you wanted to tell us.
Yeah, so speaking of food, I was after work one day, I was like, I don't know where I'm going to go for lunch. And I decided, why not just go to Strata and get a good old-fashioned pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Just a cheese pizza. Very simple, very, very mindful, very demure.
Thin crust. They
Yeah.
make it right there.
They make it right there. Very simple. I thought it was going to be a simple experience. I walk up and I'm like, I am actively on the phone with my mother, mind you. I have my headphones on, one headphone. And I go up and I order my cheese pizza. And I am like paying for my pizza. And the guy at the register, this caught me off guard. He goes, "You have beautiful teeth." And I was like, what? Because that is not something you say to people that you don't know. And then, if that wasn't bad enough, he then elaborates.
No.
He elaborates. And this is an employee at Strata, you guys.
Oh, God.
This is
I
not
thought
just
it
a
was
random guy. No. This is the guy that I have to interact
Okay.
with to buy the pizza.
So much worse.
So he's like, "Oh, you have beautiful." I'm like, "What? Thank you?" ? Like, what? And he's like, "Oh no, like some people look really weird when they have perfect teeth, but you like, it works." And I'm like, "Okay, And I'm like laughing because like what else are you gonna do in that situation?
I don't know.
And then I had to like I was like, this is so scary. I'm never going back. So anyway, that's my story.
That's awesome. Did you eat the pizza with your perfect teeth?
Yeah, I did. They're so perfect, I guess. It's just so hard having
really
such
tough.
perfect teeth.
My pals in comparison, the story I was going to tell. So we have what's called the Wasp Cup at the Chazen now. So Wasp had been getting into one of the galleries. And so we have this cup, and I'll put the image on the thing. It says, Wasp Cup, do not drink. In parentheses, Wasp.
That makes sense, you know,
I just
very
walk
sensible.
into work one day and I see this and I'm like, guys, do we have wasps?
No,
they're like,
it's just for decoration.
You know, Casey tried to catch one and release it, but then we realized that they'll just find their way back in. So now we have like wasp traps in this gallery, like hidden in the corner.
That's so sad.
And we're trying to figure out how they're getting in because obviously we can't have wasps in the art museum.
No, you can't.
You can't have that. We don't allow food, drink, or
wasps. The third food group.
And then we gotta put that on the sign. It's like no food, no drinks, no backpack, no wasps.
And definitely no wasps.
So that's been interesting. So I'm always a little scared I'm gonna run into a wasp, and I'm like, I'm not gonna try to catch it. I'm not gonna try to do stuff. I'm getting Jose or Casey because I'm not dealing with that.
You're
one
like,
of those
this is
two.
not my problem.
Yeah, I'm part-time. I'm a student employee. And no way am I trying to catch a wasp.
That's a full-time job. That's full-time.
Yeah, that's full-timer stuff right there.
You're going to need a raise if you're going to have to deal with wasps.
But I really like Wasp Cup now. It just makes me feel some kind of way.
Honestly, yeah. After seeing that photo, which I hope you're going to put in the
I'll put it.
podcast.
Wasp Cup, do not drink wasp.
Yeah.
And it has a drawing of a dead wasp on it. But
yeah, that makes sense.
I wasn't gonna try to drink out of an empty cup just sitting there.
But now you kind of want to, right? Because they tell you like don't drink it.
It's like wasp.
It's the magical elixir.
Do you think they taste good? What if it's an elixir that helps me understand what is up, dog?
Then that would be
maybe this is the first clue on a quest.
Yes, and I also would like to point out that it's kind of funny that we've talked about eating bugs on both podcasts.
You're right. Oh. Maybe I got like some secret like desire.
If I had a nickel, I'd have two nickels.
Which
is not that many nickels, but it's weird that it happened twice. I like that we quoted that whole thing.
It's a good quote from Phineas and Ferb. That's where it
comes
from.
Phineas and Ferb?
Phineas and Ferb, Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
I need to watch Phineas and Ferb.
Across the Dimension movie, thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's a classic. They're coming out with a new season, but
seriously?
I don't think it needed it.
Can't beat the OG.
Just let Sleeping Dogs lie. Like, sometimes you don't need a reboot and a sequel all the time. But that's just my hot take.
Yeah.
I'll still probably watch it because I'm
probably
nostalgia
be Perry
baited.
the Platypus for Halloween.
Yeah, you are in Perry the Platypus colors right now.
Among Us.
And Among Us. You've been thinking about going to Among Us for Halloween.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome.
But I wanted to take us back kind of to the core of the podcast with a new segment. Well, it's on a new site, but we explain things. Last time we explained our majors. Yeah. This time we're going up, okay?
Yeah, we are.
I want to talk about pyramid schemes of the stock market.
Yeah. Two things we know a lot about.
Yeah. So here's what I was thinking. Can I give you my pitch for what I think a pyramid scheme is?
Yes, please.
So, okay, people keep telling me I'm in one. People say, Claire, stop trying to get us to also sell your products. And I can't say what the products are legally.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And I keep saying, I want you to sell my product. And they go, Claire, that's a pyramid scheme. You're saying, like, you'll do me favors if I sell your make other people sell the product that you're selling to me. And I was like, bro, we're not in 3 dimensions.
No, literally, okay.
Like, I'm living in a 2D world, okay?
I mean, same. It's like Diary of the Wimpy Kid. And also, like if people would just watch the opening scene of Despicable Me, the first one that came out, they would know what a pyramid... Like, it's really simple. Like, Vector, if you guys haven't seen the movie, this is the opening scene in Despicable Me. There's the Great Pyramid of Giza, you know, the main one. Okay, the main pyramid. And Vector steals it. Sorry if that's a spoiler. I'm so sorry. I should have... Let's put a warning, edit in a warning where they say, this is a spoiler of the opening. It's literally the opening scene. It's so good. And Vector, he steals the pyramid, and then he replaces it with an inflatable one. Like, Have you ever heard of a better
that's a
pyramid scheme than that?
That's pretty good.
That's like the best one.
like, I don't even know if I believe in but that's fiction. Despicable Me is fiction.
Yeah, it's also 2D.
Yeah, it's also 2D. Well, it's 3D animation, but I watched it on a 2D screen.
You can't put your hand into the screen and feel it.
I just don't know if pyramids are real. Because, like, I believe in triangles, and I believe in putting a bunch of triangles together.
Yeah, but then
calling that a pyramid?
No, it's more of a Toblerone.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, why are we trying to erase Toblerone like that? And people keep saying, like, what about, like, the pyramids in Egypt? And I'm like, what?
Vector took it. It's not there anymore.
I have
it's
never
inflatable.
actually seen. I've seen them only in movies. And if it's not physically in front of me, I don't know. I don't know. So
I hope you guys have learned about pyramid schemes.
And then people were like, okay, maybe you'll understand if it's like, it's also called an MLM. And I'm like, man loves man? Yes, I've read fan fiction. Like, excuse me, it's Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month.
And they're like, Claire, no, you're in an MLM. It's a multi-level marketing scheme. And I'm like, where's the S?
Where's
MLMs?
P for pyramid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, why are we calling it two different things?
This is dumb. It's obviously fake.
So,
yeah.
I like your vector explanation. That helps me understand.
Yeah,
that, like,
I think it's good. It's a good explanation.
Yeah, it's very different from what I'm doing, which is trying to get people to sell my product so I get rich, but they just get entrenched in having too much of my product and not getting anyone to buy it and kind of digging themselves into a horrible hole. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get rich off of ruining other people's lives, but I'm not doing a pyramid scheme. I'm not stealing a pyramid.
No, people are have a big misconception, and once they hear the vector story, they'll know, like, obviously Claire is not doing a pyramid scheme.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was just...
Sorry, we got a little passionate about that.
You want to talk about the stock market?
Yeah, I was thinking we could talk about the stock market because I just feel like young people really need to know how to invest these days. Like, in this economy, you really... Like, eggs are pretty expensive, so I'm thinking, I mean, you got to invest in the chickens because the chicken... Well, which comes first? We can't. That's
question.
Too philosophical because we already discussed Updog. But you know what's up to you? We could try to tackle these big questions.
I think if we tackle it might lead us to figuring out what is Updog.
That's true. You never know.
We can answer it in 3 minutes.
3 minutes? Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna say what we think came first
on the count.
On count of 3. 3, 2, 1.
Scrambled eggs.
Okay. So I said chicken and you said scrambled. So
yeah, I don't know why I said that.
The thing that came first is the eggs being made.
Yeah, the spatula. The spatula. Oh my gosh,
I was going to make a sex joke, but
that's okay.
Let's stick with the scrambled eggs.
Well,
why
actually,
do you think
I changed my answer because so you need a spatula. Like, how do you make scrambled eggs? You need a spatula, obviously.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe the spatula will take us to where Updog.
Oh, so the spatula came. If we just figure out, and then to make a spatula, are we using a metal,
I'd say
wooden,
stainless
or plastic?
steel.
Stainless steel. So where did that come from? When did that?
I actually don't know. Probably Minecraft.
So
how do you make it in Minecraft?
So maybe Updog is in Minecraft.
That's going to be our next place we look.
Okay, yeah, we'll look. We'll do some research.
We can bring an expert. If any of you doggers play Minecraft and you think you might have an idea of where to lead us with some clues here, it'd be greatly appreciated. Drop it in the chat, if you will.
Drop it in the chat.
Drop your opinions.
I think they have their quest. And
I think so, too.
I think that might kind of be the end of this episode.
Did we make an episode end early because we're just that smart and succinct with our words? I think we did.
For sure. And I'm definitely not watching the time and go, we got to do an outro. I'm definitely not thinking I'm not letting this. Well, thank everybody for listening. Hopefully next time we'll have a guest. We didn't make it happen this time because the guests we were thinking of, they're all busy. One's in Disney, one's doing a class and a job. Imagine having full hours to work your job this week. But yeah, I guess. Oh, we forgot to also introduce ourselves as I'm Hop Dog.
Oh, and I'm P-Pup.
And this has been What is Up, Dog? I don't know what the music sounds
I'll write
like.
us a theme song.
Up Dog.
Duggars out.
Guys, we're sorry. The sound effects volume was completely off, so actually the reason we weren't hearing it is because you guys weren't hearing it, and then we're